on To the Point. You know how we love our military guests. You know, we have the loudmouth Marine as the host. So if you look over, we got to do this right because look at that. I pointed the right way. I love it when I do that. It always works right. We have Miss Veteran America. And if you guys remember a few weeks ago, we had my good buddy on the show, Jaspin Booth. Now, my question is I can't remember, is she a major or did she get promoted before she retired to lieutenant colonel? I don't remember. She'll probably kill me for knowing this. She'll give me that jazz side-eye, and anybody who knows jazz knows the jazz side-eye. Notice both the guest and I are doing it. So we have an amazing guest today, and you know what? I completely just suck at names, so we're going to let our guest, our Miss Veteran America is here. Now, you are active duty still, correct? Or are you?
Actually, I'm a reservist, but I'm on active orders, correct? Yes.
Awesome, and you're in beautiful Nebraska. So, as we jump into this wonderful show, tell us a little bit about Miss Veteran America, because I think a lot of people are like, what? I know Jazz kind of covered it, but you know with Jazz, we were covering a lot in a short amount of time. So kind of give a breakdown of yourself and a little bit about Miss Veteran America. Then I got a whole bunch of questions for you. So let's jump into that.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Eric. My name is Naviere Walkewicz. I'm here in Nebraska, the 2019 Miss Veteran America, and I am the ambassador for Final Salute Incorporated. And this amazing nonprofit, led by Jazz, who was just speaking of her, is all about supporting homeless women veterans and making sure that every woman veteran has a roof over her head, has food to eat for herself and her children. So it's a really important organization. And Miss Veteran America is not a beauty pageant, it's a competition. And where sisters alongside me who've served get to compete to be the ambassador.
I love it. And you guys have a really cool, special guest this year. I've seen the ads. I know her pretty well, and she's a bad little Marine. Miss Kirstie Enos is showing up. I mean, we had her on the show when we first launched, let me tell you, and we asked the story of Everest. Now, I was following her closely when she was on Everest. That was an amazing story, right? Because she's like, when I was talking to her about Everest before she did it, she's like, I'm going to probably snowboard down. I'm going to be the first, legless. And she's not even legless. She's only missing her left leg, but she's a little bad mama jumbo with one leg. So she's telling the story of climbing Everest. And she's like, I made it to Hillary Step, and we turned around. And I was like, were you okay? I know it's hard. You're doing that. She's like, oh, my team was tired. I could have kept going. And I'm like,
she's amazing.
Right? The point of the story is a few weeks later, I get this 27 years in the Navy SEAL, Doug Mann. Doug Mann was famous, right? Like 20 books. I know Navy SEALs in books. Haha, we all know they write them. But here he is, a Navy SEAL. And he goes one part that's it's treacherous, but it's way behind where Kirstie had already passed. This guy goes up, and he's famous because if you Google this gentleman I'm talking about, Doug Mann, he actually almost died on Everest. So, he couldn't make it. Here's a bad Navy SEAL, but this little Marine made it all, almost to the end of this. I don't know. I sound like it's a Disney ride. Like Mount Everest. It just has it's really easy. It's so nice.
However, we know.
So you guys have Kirstie. It's always so how many amazing veterans started this? I mean, there's kind of like a tryout. I don't know if I'm such a sports guy. Is there a tryouts? So there is. I see the videos of you guys talking about it all over. Obviously, being a part of Final Salute, it's a big mission for myself. So is there how many vets start this process and how many finish?
Right. So every year it's a little bit different, but we'll have hundreds of applications come in, and they have to go through kind of two tranches. So there's semifinals. So you're working to advocate, to educate people on the mission of Final Salute and raise funds for homeless women veterans. And then you get to your top 25 once you go through semifinals, and then the top 25 go to finals. You get your top 3, which make your court for the year. So you'll have the Miss Veteran America, the first and second runner-up. So it goes from quite many sisters in arms to one.
That is so awesome because we don't talk about our female veterans enough. As a fellow veteran, it really it drives me nuts because we always talk about it and it's always one of us. Like, hi, you're looking at when you think of veteran, and it's not a knock on anybody that I'm talking about, but you see them when they're on the news, it's always some sleeved up dude who they're talking about. And we've had guests. Jazz has been on the show, Kirstie's been on the show, Marine Corps door gunner Lisa Bodenberg's been on our show. And Jesse James from the Army. We've had just amazing sisters in arms, which I love. Most of them are Marines, but we won't judge that. We might have Marine favoritism here. I swear. You're not in the you're not in the Marine Corps, so it's okay. So it's see, I'm proving my point. We're see, you and Jazz come on the show. I give my love to the
right.
Army.
So
But
now you share the love with other services.
yeah,
It's
I get
great.
it. So what's it mean to you? I think that's a key. Obviously, it's been a different year for you, probably holding the crown, right? Obviously, you were able to do this in person in 19 and 20. You guys aren't able, which is cool because all of our folks viewing right now across the country. Before you go, we are going to tell how they could tune in because I understand from what Jazz said, you guys are streaming this event, and folks will be able to watch live on social media this awesome event, which I think is cool because more eyes can do it because not everybody can get to DC, which is understandable. I mean, it is. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in DC this year, but how has it been in a year that's kind of been, you got the title and then you have COVID. So how has that been?
It's been a whirlwind. So I spent the majority of my first 3 months wearing the crown. I was on the road a couple of times a month. And so really just getting out there and meeting people, sharing the story, it was quite incredible. And then COVID. And so we had to find ways to be creative like most people. We looked at how we could do things virtually. And I have to give a shout out to all the Sisters in Arms that are actually running this year. They did such an incredible job finding really creative ways to raise money, to raise awareness. I saw things like face masks with the Final Salute logo. They were doing virtual drives, anything to help spread the word. So we had to all get creative. So for me in the rain, what I ended up doing was helping to host the Miss Veteran America virtual dash, which was anyone could do any kind of activity that would be in a distance. And so you could actually participate in a 5K, a 10K, half marathon, or full. You could walk, run, roll a wheelchair, bike, whatever it was for you for distance, you could participate. So it was a really incredible way to bring everyone together. And so that was a really nice culminating kind of event, which raised over $20,000 with over 400 participants. So that was a really nice way to kind of still show that you can do a lot, even when people are going through things and when the whole world is facing a pandemic.
That's true, right? So what's amazing about this is, there's no other event like this. I mean, granted, there's the big, Miss Universe, Miss America, all that, but there's nothing like this for vets. This is amazing that we have this. And we also have the same time over the last few years, inclusion. We saw it in the NFL just this Sunday. We had 3 women who were coaching. We had a referee who she's been on the field for a couple of years now, but we had a head coach, not a head coach, almost a head coach, and another intern for the not the Redskins. Wow, they're no longer called that. They are now called the Washington football team. I apologize to anybody I've offended by that. I promise I didn't do. I was the one breaking that story just a few weeks ago that they're changing their name, and I just totally butchered it. So shout out to anybody I offended. But I think it's so. How has that made you feel when you see that? Obviously, you're a servicewoman and you have a little bit of rank under you. So as the enlisted guy here, I get that. But as a woman, right? You see this out here. I'm a father of 2 daughters, so I absolutely love what you guys do. It's so empowering. But how does that make you feel being, number one, you're in the service, but number 2, you get to wear this crown and share this and inspire you. There has to be little girls looking at you going, I want to be like you. And then they go like, oh, not only are you wearing this crown and you're this, Miss, Veteran America, you're also, a bad mama Jamba because you wear a uniform and you serve our country. So you're kind of like, you're really like an All-American, not just Miss Veteran, but you're an All-American. Right. So, I mean, how does that make you feel as a woman, like leading the way? You are one of those people that should definitely go, wow, you kind of do it all.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it feels incredible. I felt the weight of making sure, am I doing enough? Am I saying enough? Am I advocating enough? And so I feel like that really drives me. This past year, I think it's really just been trying to find ways to help other people see that they can be a part of it, right? Even if you can't donate, you can share information. And when you can donate, can you let other people know? So it's really just been incredible. And what I will just share from the aspect of being a female in the military, from being a mother of sons, I just think inclusion is so important, and it's not just women that need to speak out for women. So I speak out as well, sharing this information with men. I talk about it with my children. They are very well versed. They traveled with me a couple times to see how important this is. And actually in my job right now, in my government job, I'm helping to stand up a diversity and inclusion office at the combatant command in which I work. So it's really, it really has come full circle. It's been a fantastic journey.
That's so important. We clearly need that in the military. I've been out for a few years now, and the military still has some of the same issues. So it's good that we're working on it. And obviously, Jazz has created something amazing, and add in you amazing sisters in arms into this. I'm so happy about it. When I first found out about this was years ago. I'm totally aging myself on how long I've known Jazz, which is north of 7 years.
I'm with you in age, don't worry.
Yeah, it is crazy, but like it is amazing how this has grown, and it's so empowering. And you're right, telling I have a boy, and he's familiar with it, and they all think it's awesome, right? Because I mean, at the end of the day, you all put on a uniform, and there's that one photo Jazz put out a few years ago where the amputees, some of the double amputees, that's a powerful photo. I mean,
yes,
it's just very powerful. So before you go, tell folks how they could tune in and watch, because we don't want to miss them. And this is this week, so give us the date, time, and places we could do it. We'll put this all out everywhere.
I was gonna say, can we put it all? I can actually give you a screenshot of that.
We're gonna do everything
virtual, so
yep.
I can definitely do that. But if you go to Final Salute Incorporated on any of our Facebook pages, you can get all the information straight from there. MissVeteranAmerica.org is the website that has all the information as well, but it's a live streaming event. You definitely want to tune in October 11th.
October 11th. Awesome. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Everybody else, we're going to have more information, and we're going to post this all over the place. So if you missed it right now, didn't see it on the screen, it will be everywhere. So I want folks to make sure you'll be able to see it. We're going to put it on our social, and we will be promoting this event as we get closer to it. So I want to thank you so much for joining us today.